Well, what a time you've been having. I mean, only last week with Barack Obama in Norway.
That's right, yeah.
Must have been a treat.
It was amazing, yeah. We only found out about 2 weeks ago. We were meeting him, and we went to the Nobel Peace Prize, where he was getting the Nobel Peace Prize, and we got to meet him the night before the show. It was pretty amazing, and we were a bit starstruck, to say the least.
We're in the presence of great men all week long.
Yeah. But he is a...
It wasn't meant to be a joke.
I'm trying to work out what he said. And I was just trying to oil it along. I'll get the translation a little bit later on. But so what was it like then? What is he like?
Cool, isn't he? Yeah, he was. I mean, you know, we only kind of found out we were going to meet him that day. And he had got the award that morning, so he was in a very good mood, actually. And ourselves and all the other artists got on a bus. We weren't allowed to bring any sort of, you know, not that we need security when we were meeting him, but we weren't allowed to bring any tour managers or any staff or anything like that with us. So we just went, just us and the artists. So it was good fun on the bus over there with like Wycliffe Jean and all the different people that were performing down the back seat. And then we got there, we're in a room for about kind of an hour and a half with people like Will Smith and, you know, all the other performers and people involved. And then we went and lined up and shook his hand, spoke a little bit about Ireland and about pints of Guinness. And
did he know who you were? Did he know that?
No, well, we didn't. Mark went up first and said, "Hi, Mark, we're Westlife, we're from Ireland, we're a pop band from Ireland." And then straight away he was like, "Oh, I got roots in Ireland and all this type of stuff. And us guys should go for a pint." So he was kind of, he was real approachable. Thanks, man. He was real approachable. You know, really cool president. Really, somebody you kind of felt that you know he didn't seem like a politician. And we've met a lot of different types of politicians over the years in different scenarios, but he kind of just felt like one of the lads. You know, it was cool.
So you rank fairly high, Cian, in terms of the number of people you've met and how impressive they are, because most people would be impressed by you. It's quite nice when you're impressed by other people as well.
Yeah, completely. I think, you know, in every walk of life, you know, I mean, we're fans of somebody. So, you know, from the start of this band, since we started off, you know, for me, one of the first people we met were Bon Jovi in America, and I remember meeting them and just being like, oh my God. And then, you know, working with someone like Mariah Carey, who Mark was a huge fan from a young age, you know, to then meeting the Pope a few years ago, John Paul II.
Shane was a big fan of the Pope as well at that point.
Have you got all his records?
I do, yeah, I do.
Well, the latest one from you, Where We Are. So, you know, 2 years, is it, since the last one?
2 years since the last one, yeah. We got to a stage where we had done 9 albums in 10 years, you know, we felt, as a band, we felt we could do better, you know, we could get better music if we took more time. We took a year off to spend time just with our families and kind of get our heads together, and then we came back and went to America and worked with a lot of new people on this album. And it's definitely turned out to be, we think it's one of our best, hopefully the fans will agree with that, but we feel it's definitely one of our best albums we've ever done.
Well, I think they do. It's difficult though, isn't it? It's dangerous to take 2 years off, you know, in this business where you've got to have something coming out, it seems to me, about every 2 months to keep in the public eye. Particularly with the likes of X Factor now, there's a new star born, you know, almost every 6 months.
There had to be sort of a point, you know, I mean, we did kind of have a little bit of that fear of, you know, what's going to happen. It was the unknown. We didn't know what it was like to take a year off, because we never did, and we did 9 albums in 9 years. But there had to be a point where we sort of took that leap or whatever. And we felt very much ready for it, and we felt like we very much needed it as well. You know, it's kind of the new phase of Westlife now, you know, we needed to take that break away from it to sort of really look at it and decide what we liked, and more importantly, what we didn't like about what we'd done, and get rid of the bit we didn't like, and, you know, focus on what we do.
That's the key to it, I think sometimes, even though, you know, you have to kind of stay hot while it's hot and keep striking. I think there has to be a point where you can just get away from it, and then to enable yourself to continue to do it. And that's what we did.
Well, you, Nick and Cian, you've had your own problems this year. Both lost your father. Always difficult. You know that. I mean, has it, you know, affected your view of what you do, your view of life? Obviously.
I think so. Yeah. I think for anybody who loses a parent or, you know, loses someone quite close, it changes your whole view in life. It makes you view life in a very, very different way. I think, you know, what was extremely important before, like, you know, how successful we were as a band and stuff like that, I think that all kind of disappears a little bit. You're kind of like, you know, that's not really what life is about. Even though, you know, both of our dads were massive, you know, fans of Westlife. You know, my dad used to go out and buy the paper every day to make sure that we were in it and stuff like that.
But isn't that the loveliest thing, the fact that they both knew you'd done well? You know, you'd got there.
Yeah, I mean, they got to see us play in our national stadium last year. It was my dad's 63rd birthday, and, you know, on the night we played our national stadium, I got the whole audience to sing happy birthday to him. So I think, you know, there's a lot of families out there who have had it a little bit worse off than us, you know. I mean, my dad died of cancer, unfortunately, and you know, there's a lot of sickness out there, a lot of people suffering, and I think, you know, you forget about it until it happens
Moments
to
to
you.
treasure. Moments to treasure. At least you had it.
Indeed.
It's great to have you on, guys. Lovely to see you again.
Thank you.
Thanks for
The
having
boys
us.
will be back a little bit later on to perform an exclusive track from their new album. But for now, my enormous thanks to Westlife. Thank you very much. Now, it's been another incredible